All right, welcome everybody. Well, like we said, great to be here. And as you get settled in, other people may be joining, but be as comfortable on your seat with your block and your strap or any props you'd like. And before we do our breathing, I'm always welcome to emails and questions. And this is a wonderful question that I'm going to read directly, is that life's journey is not a straight road, but rather filled with ups and downs. Imperfections of oneself and of life in general is the norm. Yes. Change is constant. Yes. How can we train our mind and build this fundamental principle through yoga and affirmations? So thank you for the inquiry on that. I was reflecting on that before I got this inquiry, and it may be something we do reflect on, because as we said last week, adaptability, think of adaptability as our psychological equivalent to flexibility. I know when we do yoga, there's a theme of flexibility, but we want to also bridge it, the adaptability to bend, the ability to bend literally in our bodies and come back to our center. So we do that in the yoga asanas over and over and over again, but it's a great metaphor for what we are doing psychologically, that we're adapting and flexing and increasing our flexibility every time, you know, those greater stretches and coming back to our center. So the affirmations will help us realize our highest truth. And the yoga poses is going to help us not only on the physical, but the emotional levels as well. Because as we know, yes, life does continually go up and down. And we may want to bring that into an affirmation and say that life goes up and down, and people and situations are unpredictable. We know that as well. Change is constant. But here's the golden nugget of the Yoga Sutras. The Yoga Sutras teach us that the soul, whether you call that the witness, the observer, your higher self, the soul is changeless. It's witnessing all the changes. It's able to compassionately be the seer, be the observer. And Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, it's so much about that silent, compassionate awareness and witness. So they're saying, yes, this is true. Our lives are up and down. Change is constant. We're hopefully, you know, growing and learning. And sometimes it's like, okay, enough already, you know. But can we really, we come back to center, but ultimately could we be in our center through these changes, through witnessing, through observing that's already here. So it sounds easy, and we get challenged all the time, but our practices help us to return to that depth of that soul of the ocean at the depths that's observing the waves on the surface and the changes and the big ripples or the crashing waves. So enough of that. We'll get into the practice of it. It's very important to say and remind us every time we practice, we get to, realign with our center. But our center is here all the time. Our center is here all the time. We may not always remember that. We do forget it. And then we have practices to come back. So if you're a Buddhist, it might be coming back to the bodhicitta heart, that vast, open, spacious heart that is, truly holding everything and able to respond. Even though at times we feel like we bend, maybe we've even, felt like we've broken at certain really tough challenges of our life. But then you really tell the truth, what's still here, what's still whole, what's still free. Okay, All right, thank you for the inquiry. There's a lot more to say about that, but let's keep it in the practice with Tigger helping us out here. I'm gonna come back for our breath work, and we'll be breathing consciously, hopefully most of the time. So, speaking of the heart, let's go ahead and just bring the shoulders up, down, and around. 3 times, maybe circle the neck around as well. Small, medium, or large. You tune in to what works for you. And because we're moving not only from the physical body, but into the energy body, the more subtle body, it's been a while since we did bumblebee breath. So you're just doing a hum and allowing that vibration of the heart chakra to come more to the front rather than inside. It's inside, but we're invoking it outwardly as well. So we'll bring our hands underneath the armpits, or you can do the Eagle Heart Mudra, whatever feels comfortable to you. Just kind of testing it out myself here. This feels good today. Exhale completely like you're blowing on a candle. Inhale slowly, belly, heart, crown, inhale. And then as we exhale, we're just going to make that bumblebee sound, that humming sound. When you're ready, slow inhale, belly, heart, crown opens. And when you're ready, bumblebee sound. One more time, inhale. And bumblebee sound. Okay, let the breath rise as it does on the inhale and on the exhale. If you'd like to set an intention for your practice, I'm holding the theme today of that adaptability, that life is change up and down, all around. People's circumstances are unpredictable. And can we return to our center? Can we be in our center as it's going on? Okay. Sometimes yes, sometimes we can always return. Okay, the center is always here, but sometimes our self is elsewhere, but we have practices to return gratefully. So, okay, so we will get on to the ground to get some core strength going. I'll make sure this is turned off. All right, have a little cushion if you like. We are going to ease down from the lengthening of the spine, and then we're going to round, exhale. All right, you know, you feel the abdominal muscle side and low back. Inhale for engagement, shimmy, shake down. All the way, sweep the arms up over the head. And then exhale, space all around you. Drawing the knees in and either rocking side to side or doing those egg beaters. I'm going to adjust a little bit so that the blanket is hitting the back, the edge of my shoulders to get that natural shape of the neck more in alignment. As you're opening up, hey, we're going to do some toe tapping here. So navel to this. First, just let our hands on our belly and just draw the sacrum into the earth. Let the belly expand. On the exhale,
navel toward the spine, low back connected to the earth. So keep that engagement there as we do our what's called toe taps. So first we'll just do the legs, then we'll add the arms, just to know where we're going here. So on the exhale, it's more of a heel tap. That right heel touches down, low back plugged in. Inhale back to center. Exhale. Left heel taps. A lot of engagement here. Two more, another time for the heel tap. Back to center at your pace. Engaged, engaged, engaged. Core muscles, left heel. Now we add the arms, brain gym, okay? So when that right heel comes down, the left arm reaches overhead and then back to center. Left heel down, right arm overhead and back to center. You can't but help feel your core, right? Two more. Right heel, left arm, back to center. I'm using more exhale through the mouth. You decide what you'd like to do through the nose or, and the opposites here. I could tell when if I drift off, my low back doesn't engage much. I have to keep your awareness there, the navel to the spine, really firing up the core muscles. Okay, give yourself a little treat here and happy baby so that you move side to side, right corner of the abdomen over to the left, ironing out the back body. Flexibility, adaptability. So important. And we love our security and the stability, right? And then there's times when we either can willingly adjust or we're forced to adjust, and then we need to go through processes around that. So let's keep breathing here as we move into just a gentle arms out to the side of the knees drawing over. We're not going to do windshield, the feet are a little bit closer and inner borders of the feet together quite a bit closer. Knee touches, knee tap, and we have to touch the ground, but we're energizing through the heart. We're open through the heart. Engage core, coming back to center, plug in the low back, over to the other side. So feel the difference when the feet are closest together. Go back in, knees over, just tuning in to movement, flexibility, adaptability. Inhale back up and then over. Okay. So figure one's attention, then I'll probably in about 5 or 10 minutes I'll go over to the bed there and just really relax. Okay, or not, we'll see. Inhale back to center. Very good. All right, let's curl ourselves in a ball and rock and roll on your spine if that's okay. So when we did that twisting, I hope you felt also the neck releasing side to side, but right now it's in alignment with the spine, gaining enough momentum, scooping back. Remember last week when we did our tabletop and scoop back? That's very wonderful strengthening pose. So what we're going to do to review it, I like the fingertips facing forward, feet hip width apart, reverse table. Inhale, lift the hips. If there's no neck issues, then the head can come back. Otherwise, tuck the chin to the hollow at the throat. And then we're going to scoop the cheeks down, the sit bones down, kind of scoop back, and then scoop back up again. Good. Inner arms drawing toward one another, strengthening all the muscles. And then, tricky to scoop down. Fingers there, scooping down. Okay. And then coming back up again. All right, now this one, we tuck the chin, and if you can, add some elbow bends, kind of a push-up strength, because we do need our strength as well as our adaptability and flexibility. And that could be that could be a tender strength, that could be a soft strength, so that we feel like collapsing, we feel like disassociating because it's too much, it's too challenging. So we want to just make space for that too, as we scoop back down and come into just a seated pose for a moment. Feel the shoulders easing down away from the ears. And let's do that side stretch for the neck, bringing the right ear over toward the right shoulder. Right hand on the side of the neck, stretching and breathing into the left side of the neck. This left arm is energized. And pull the head up or slightly down. Within every breath lies infinite power. Within every breath lies infinite power to help return me back to my center. When we're consciously breathing, coming back to our center, right? Left ear over the left shoulder. Could be that simple. Right arm out to the side. Left hand on the side of the neck, stretching and opening. That right side of the neck. Belly breathing. And with every breath, you could make it your own if you're working on coming back to center. Within every breath lies infinite power and allows me to return to my center. Center as you lengthen up. We're in the Yogi Sutra world, in the right alignment. We're aligned with our divine and the higher self, and with all the humanness that's going on. Breathing in, breathing out. It's like a lighthouse with a spiritual eye. Closing your eyes, drawing the energy back toward the sockets and upward into the light of spiritual awareness. Think of that like a lighthouse that's available, that we train ourselves to return to with our breath. And then eventually, something on a stay, meeting people at that place, whether they recognize it or not, you recognize it, you too. All right, drawing the knees in. We're gonna ripple up. So rolling onto the balls of the feet, the toes, walking the hands back toward the heels, starting to come up into a Uttanasana, forward fold. Feet hip width apart. Just kind of ease side to side here. Ease side to side, still warming up. Bring the left hand to the center, bend the knees to start, but then as you reach your right arm up, the left knee bends. There's that opposite again, head to tail connected, heart open. All these different ways to play. Yes. So you come back down. Bring the right hand in the center line, the left arm sweeps up, don't rush it, right knee bends opposite, head to tail connected. If you can't look outside, if that works with your alignment of your head, notice the space all around you, as well as within. Spacious awareness, come back to center, turn the hand down. And depending on your spine, you're either going to ripple, shake it out, or straight spine it up. As you come up, as you lift off the heels, and then as you feel the space all around you. All right, mountain, yielding. So Northern California people, great news. We're out of the fire season warnings, so yay for that. Feels really good. So appreciation of whatever you appreciate in your heart center here. It's just those of us looking outside and feeling the moisture.
Coming into our heart and feeling the appreciation of the heart, the gratitude. Always helpful to uplift the energy of what we're grateful for. Lengthening through the crown. And we're going to flow in various poses. So if you want to bring another person out to the mat dedication, to some other people, to the dawning of higher consciousness, and that unity, that collective offering is really essential in the yoga practice as well. We want prayers of care for others. So notice who comes up for you. It could be global, it could be specific. The dawning of higher consciousness. May that dawning of higher consciousness awaken in all beings as we move into our flow, tapping into the spiritual eye, higher chakras, tapping into the crown. As we lengthen up and turn around, as one dive forward, exhale. Let we go what we can, shake it out. Relaxing and casting aside any unnecessary mental burdens. As we step back into our full body stretch, downward facing dog. So go ahead and dread it out. Pressing through the base of the fingers. Invoking any kind of forward bend, the wisdom of the heart, but the affirmation here, as we know, is calm energy, radiate through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. And let's go ahead and lift the heels, turn the toes to the left, Egyptian feet, this is called, but now bring the magnetism of the heart toward the thighs. So just a variation there in our down dog. You'll feel where you feel that. And then we lift up, roll the heels over to the other side. And then here's the change there. We magnetize the heart toward the thighs. Calm energy radiates through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. Okay, and then we lift up and we come into our plank, either knee, chest, chin, or classic plank. We add one push-up, half push-up, and then we come all the way down. So all the way down, unfurl the toes, and then angle myself this way. And we'll do our warm-up shoulders. So we bring our hands underneath the shoulders and we just kind of go on like go side to side. Feel that dental floss for the shoulders. Do a mini cobra before we do a deep shoulder opener, deeper shoulder opener. Press through the feet, inhale, recharging the spine. Chakras, petals moving in that right direction. And then, which is upward, exhale, coming down, taking a couple breaths here, stacking the hands, feeling the belly expanding against the earth, shoulders softening. And we're really going to get our ability to bend and flex and adapt, and then maybe be in our center the whole time, maybe coming out, but then you can always return. So the arms are going to come out to the side. I haven't done this in a while, but we've done it before. If you want a little blanket for your head, you're welcome to. It's not necessary, but it could be nice. You're turning, you're resting on your left side. You're going to use your right hand. You're going to bend your right knee, and we're going to roll under and bring this foot in
and see if we can get underneath this left scapula. Maybe the blankets in there to see it. So we're using our hand, gonna wedge. We're bending, we're adapting. It's a lot. It's more intense. But can we stay present? Can we stay in our center? Yeah, and see how this right knee is bent to help. And if you, yeah, and then we come back down. Ooh. Literally back to the center. Now this is where we can relax and sense and feel into it. You could while you're in it, but now we can rest in it. You can feel most likely that left shoulder space there, breath in the heart. That's quite entertaining. So much for him resting on the bed. All right, and when we're ready, we're going to go to the other side. So open wingspan, wings of joy opening out. You want a blanket for your head for the sake of demo. I'm going to not use it, turn my head to the right. Use your left hand to help. Iguana, bend that left knee and then get underneath this right scapula. And I didn't pulse last time. If it's too much, pulse back and forth. Ease into the flexibility, the adaptability. Sometimes in life, you know, we're hit. We don't have that choice to right away go back and forth. But then after whatever the phenomenon is, we go in and out of that up and down of life. And now sustain it and breathe. Can you still be in your center as the intensity comes up? And then also coming out if it's too much, okay? We get to choose that too, of course. And so we're all gonna come out. So in our yoga pose, you get to choose how much to push it, when to come in, when to come out. In life, as we come back to our center, we do go in and out of being present with whatever the phenomenon is. And if we don't like it, usually if it's harder, we go farther away, but eventually acceptance, coming back to our center is all part of it as well. So weaving in a lot of psychological principles, we name it, to tame it, resistance may be here, depending what it is, okay? Don't want to deal, disassociate, numb out, TV, like over and over again. Just notice what you're doing, but then you come back as you breathe in and breathe out. Ask for guidance. Your channel of this right. And we're going to rise up now. So hands underneath the shoulders into full Bhujangasana, cobra pose. Inhale. And up on your wings of joy, shoulders down. If you can, knees off the ground, stick out the tongue, eye gaze up. And let's do that again. Maybe you want to do a third. Knees touch down, go back with that core strength. Walk your hands back, wrists underneath the shoulders, hover off of the knees. And then pour back to down dog, full body stretch. You decide if you want to tread it out or stay stable or combo. Calm energy radiates through every cell of my body, every fiber of my being. Let's do 10 Kapalabhati breaths of fire. Exhale through the nose, draw the navel to the spine. Slow it down. And bend the knees, walk one foot forward, then the other, walk one hand back, back. You want to massage the scalp. Awake my brain, be wise, be strong. Remember the medulla oblongata, the hollows at the back of the neck, the ego jam there. You want to open that stuckness, and naturally the energy draws to the spiritual eye, our higher self from our personal self. And when you're ready, shake it out or straight spine it up.
So that ultimately, depending on your orientation, in Yogananda's teaching that the divine is the doer, we're the vehicle. So the more we can literally acknowledge our personal self, but let that be led by our higher self, the God and Goddess is the doer, then we're more free. And so whatever your orientation is, to get to the higher awareness is a beautiful thing as we bring our freedom, true freedom, as we bring our hands into Namaste. Open through the crown, open through the higher centers, allowing that sky, the nature, sky, blue sky of awareness to pour through. Again, it's here. It's all, it's free, but it gets clouded over. Clear it out, clear it out. Come back. Okay, we're going to do a more challenging series now. So have a block by your side just to access it. So we'll go into our warrior low. What that looks like is we're going to step in. Several classes ago, we did a warrior training of meeting these challenges. That's a big part. Can we meet these challenges, these ups and downs in life with compassion? Let's track your left knee, or maybe it's resistance at first. So it's very, very normal. Left knee over your second toe. Right foot in, root down. Ooh. Okay, trying to get the shoulders lined up with the hips. Open that warrior heart, expand it, and then root. Yield into the earth. Yield perhaps into this up and down, changing circumstances, imperfection of self. Down. And then what we're going to do is shoot that bow. So turn the palms forward. We're going to bring that right hand to meet the left and draw the energy, magnetize it, whatever you're working on, to perhaps feel that resistance. You could really dynamically feel the resistance, and to let, as much as you can, that adaptability and flexibility and ultimately acceptance come through. So we're going to reach that right arm down, the left arm up, and then reaching our left arm out. Reach behind you, interlock. I know it's supposed to be strong here, burning through stuff. Ups and downs and in and outs, coming forward. You rest gently that left shoulder slightly on the knee, let the head bow down again to the wisdom of the heart. Knuckles lift to the sky. Exhale, ease, but strong, but the hips come down a little bit more. And a couple breaths. And let the hands come down. And what's going to happen here, we turn the toes just for a minute to transition. I haven't done this in a long time, into a side plank. It's called a pyramid plank. So that left foot comes out to the side. The right foot turns to the side of the mat. If possible, you can do a side plank here. Go like this. If this is too much, you can bend your left knee and stretch up. So miss the trickier turns, the ups and downs, and trying to pull out of, getting what we don't want. We find our center. When we come back to it,
Or maybe you're like, I gotta get out of here, or come out, if possible, certainly in our pose we can. And we go back to our plank, just to flow through chaturanga. Unfurl the toes at your pace, at your timing, rising up. Shoulders down. Legs strong. Open through the heart. Front, back, and sides. And please take a moment in prayer pose. So knees wider than the hips. It's great for the hips, by the way. There's more of the energy of letting go of the things we can't control. So there's a big principle, controlling what we can. We know this one, serenity prayer is so important. The wisdom to know the difference. Then we just have one breath of letting go, of surrendering. We return that surrendering, we surrender our ego, personal self for a moment and let that divine self move through us more easily. We're still willing and acting. Taking a moment here before we go to the other side. If you can sit, just sit comfortable cross-legged, whatever works for you. Take it in. Fully yogic breath. Yogananda has many prayer demands, he calls them. I will reason, I will act, but guide my reason, will, and activity to the right thing, so we will reason, will, and act, and then life comes in and does whatever at moments it does, the ups and downs inevitably, the unpredictable nature of life. Then we come back to our center and realign. Or we could be in that adventure of whatever it is. Sometimes it's not, I'm laughing because it's not so pleasant, but we could be in our center as it's happening. So both are working here. As we transition now into our other side, so we just walk it back, walk it back, walk it back, chair pose, head to tail, and inhale, sweep it up, move it down, slice out that what, maybe what we can't control. Open to what we can. And sometimes it's not so clear. Listen to those dreams. Remember, we have a lot of training of that Venn diagram of the middle, those two circles. And then there's some things that feel like, well, I could do this and I could do that. And I'm not sure the outcome. So there's a middle in there with certain things. Okay, here we go. Mountain pose. Thank you, body. Opening up, rooting down, feeling connection to nature, energy within, and energy all around you, life force all around you. Warrior pose to the other side. Stepping wide, turning the right toes out, tracking that knee over the second toe. It's meant to be strong, developing our, drawing the knee over. Warrior energy with the open heart, okay, with that bodhicitta heart. So in strength, as we move down, get the physical alignment. Notice what, pick one challenge you're going through. And keeping that open warrior heart, we're gonna
shoot that bow, ask for divine guidance as we energize. Really tensile strength here through the heart chakra, and we're down, shoot the bow. The greater adaptability amidst the unpredictability. So that could be the affirmation there. Greater adaptability amongst the unpredictability of circumstances, people, interlocking family. That's where it shows up the most, right? It's interacting so closely. Heart open, and then come forward. So that right shoulder to the knee, the knuckles look up, the head bows to the wisdom of the heart. Now the adaptability to come back to my center. Amongst the unpredictable nature of life. All right, and then from here, we come down, we rotate into what's called a pyramid plank. So if you know it's too much to bring this right leg out to the side like that, bring your right knee down and into your knee down plank, okay? But if possible, you're gonna bring your foot out and that back foot lined up with the mat and the right hand, whoo, it's strong. Head to tail connected, watch the head doesn't go down. Heart open. Going in, staying in your center as we're, it's getting more intense. You guys stay here. And of course, we want to come out. We want to come out, but we come out, we stay in our center, right? We're still connected. It's the mind. It's the mind that takes us out, but the mind can bring us back. Rounded cat. Scoop it out. It's a moment awareness. Look over to the right shoulder. Look over to the left. Back to center. Turn the toes under, hover, core strength. And let it out. You want to flow more. Got that. Feel more of the fluidity with our, we need fluidity for our adaptability, right? And then stepping one foot forward, then the other. Uttanasana, slight bend of the knees, shake up the head. Yes and no. And sweeping chair pose, strength, arms reach out, then come forward. And then all the way up. All the way up. And feel the space all around. And back to mountain pose. Yielding into the earth. Holding the breath. Thumb and index finger together. We're really having a conversation within ourselves when we're adapting about stability and change, right? We're rooted and grounded in our stability and security, but then we're asked to change in some way. And so this is a very unique conversation each person will have depending on the circumstances that they're going through. So security and change. Security and change. Sometimes that change doesn't feel like an adventure. It doesn't feel like, oh wow, I'm like traveling or something. It's like, oh, I don't want this. I'm forced to change, but at some point, when we just open and come back That higher awareness is going to help so much in this sea of change, to return to what is changeless. And I focus on that, you know, sutras, the Yoga Sutras, what is changeless. It's aware of all this change going on. I was going to zoom out a bit to the mountaintop. And my witness observer, compassionate witness observer to the sea of change. It's changeless. Already whole, already free, already aware. That's how the yogis talk about it. Different Buddhists, different scriptures perhaps talk about it in different ways. However you resonate, back to that center. Okay, we're gonna bring our block over. I'm really, really liking the block for eagle pose at this stage of my life. So you can place it down or up. And eagle pose, wow, yeah, Dharan Dasana, free. The eagle, as we expand our wings, we want to affirm, I am free, I am free. So that deep soul awareness is freedom. And then we bring our right elbow underneath the left. We lift the tips of the elbows out. We reach our forearms out in front. So really get into the back of the shoulders. Okay. And then we shift onto that left foot. So over here so you can see better. And we're like in our chair pose again, looking at a point, a drishti point out in front or on the floor. And this foot, we're already in balance pose. It can cross or it can tap down onto the block. We're sitting down lightly. And here's our classic, amidst life's storms, what we're going to say today. Amidst life's ups and downs, unpredictability, I can find my center. I can return. The classic affirmation is, amidst life's storms, I find my center. So if that works for you, make it speak to you. Amidst life's ups and downs, unpredictability, I can return to my center, Tata center. Center within. Sweeping out. Ooh, eagle free arms. I am free, I am free. Circle around. Even for a moment, right? Feel that freedom, feel that expansion. Affirming that deepest truth. So the unpredictable life, in psychology called the relative truth, the absolute truth in spiritual is our soul. So the left elbow comes underneath. Oops, block. Sorry, move the block or move yourself. Lifting the tips of the elbows up. Coming down into our chair pose. Okay, we're probably at a point on the floor or slightly in front. And this side's going to be different. I could feel the difference here. I could feel myself wobbling out. So, come back to center. See what's available today in this pose on this side. And it's left ups and downs, twists and turns. In my center, or I can return. Breathing in, breathing out. Focused awareness. Balance poses require us to focus even more deeply. It's okay if you wobble out, we can return to center. And unravel. Whew. And unravel the arms. That eagle expansion of the heart. And then hands at the back of the neck. Let's open the neck by looking up and the heart. And then exhale, rounding. You decide how much
Extension you want with your hands. Pulse 2 more times. Inhale. Life storms or challenges. And return to center. And it is scary when we feel, you know, that the center somehow is away from us. We've all had those experiences, most likely. I think of a couple ways that work for you to return. Yoga practices have always been a deep resource for me. Maybe prayer for you, maybe accompany a friend to remind you just moving down. Nature, rising energy upward, full yoga breath, through the spiritual eye. And every breath has infinite power, and you return to the higher awareness of the spiritual eye or the heart center or the crown. Okay. Let's get down. So we're going to bend the knees and come down in a way that feels nurturing to you. The standing poses are very energizing. Now we're going to do a Jani Shashasana, hip opener, hamstring opener. It's helpful to sit on a blanket and have the left leg extended and the right knee bent. I'm going to take the right hand inside the right hand, twist the gunk out, the stuckness out, looking over your left shoulder, stretching through the neck and the spine, and then coming back to center. Hands to the heart, hands to the spiritual eye, lengthening and growing. Feel the toes back, come forward. You can use a strap here first, elongate the spine. Elongate the spine. Remember the fear in the back of the knees are opening it up. We're opening up, meeting it. Exhale, softening forward. Now we round the spine. And you'll do one more pulse here of the heart lifting, elongating a little bit more, hip opening. And then exhale, softening. Returning. The affirmation here is left and right and all around. Life's harmonies are mine. So tuning into the harmony balance, the nature balance, the nature, so much we can get, as we know, from nature, life's harmonies, tuning into life's harmonies. Is what, of course, we're reacting against is the disharmony, the disconnection. But we're affirming left and right and all around. Life's harmonies are mine. I could tune in to those harmonies to rebalance, to recenter. Inhale, looking up the toes, coming up, twisting toward that bent knee as the heart opens wide, opposite hand to the knee. Turning the deep core, low back, obliques, belly, moving over the shoulder. Tuning into, you can't see it, but the bird out there. Inhale, coming back to center, taking a moment. And full yogic breathing, Jani energy, belly, at your pace, heart, spiritual eye. Higher wisdom self pouring through the personal ego self. This is what we got to walk around with. But can we, yes, we can align it. We can align it. Yeah. Return.
to higher consciousness. And then we switch. Janusashasana, the right leg. Sitting on the blanket and taking your left hand, twisting toward that extended leg. Adapting to change. Okay. Arm, round, and reaching forward. Let's do. I like it when we can plan it, but a lot of times it's unplanned. And we'll adapt, yes, as we ease down now, left and right, we tune into the life's harmonies. Harmonies all around me. Simple things, breath. The ability of what we can do to move. Nature. Helping others to ease a little bit further. We can relax a little bit more. Shoulders maybe, back and neck. Inhale. Sweeping the arms up. If you're ready for that, you can stay longer or not. Twisting toward that bent knee. Feeling the space all around you. And use your hand to twist. Chin curl to the floor. Energize through this leg. Look around. Feel that stretch in the side of the neck as well. Knees are falling. Yes, shifting our time clock. There's always a change, right? There's usually resistance there. Okay, do we adapt to that one? That's been a big adaptation for most of us. I know it is for me. I resist it. That's a classic one. Don't like it. Can't do anything about it. All right, breathing in, breathing out until the adjustment and the acceptance happens. Back into the central channel. Returning to center. That witness observer, already whole, already free, already willing. See your being, whatever alignment of your truth is. And then we're gonna come down onto our back, a little bit release. You can break up now or anytime and you can do a pose that works for you, or you can follow along as we release our another a little bit more core strengthening on the V pose. It's more active before we come down. So tap, here's the classic toe tapping, the right foot down, exhale, shift, left foot, we'll do 4 more. Engage, us to. And a series of this moment, lengthen up and shimmy shake down. Exhale. Press through the feet, reach the arms up and over. Feel those angel wings all around you. Let's do it in one bridge. Large toes turn in, pull again, we'll go back, inhale, lift up. Bridging our thoughts. That's what we know as we create feelings, create action. Bridge my thoughts back to when they go away and
you know they do. They go off and running. They're aware of it, name it, return back. Every thought can be a bridge back to the truth of coming back to my center through the breath, through the little movement, whatever it is for you, looking at something in nature, into the senses as we ripple down from the upper, mid, to low back. Knees in this time, or if your hips are okay, this will help open them and your low back's okay. Otherwise, contain the energy and breathe in the belly. And really sense and feel if you're not already there, what pose would really feel good for you right now? So break out. I think I'm going to cue Halasana. I don't do it often. Shoulder stand. It's a lot. It's good for your neck, but yeah, we want to be cautious if you got some neck flare going on. Or I do supported shoulder stand would be the safest bet there. But you decide, classic twist like we usually do. I'm going to cue Halasana plow. You decide if this is something the body wants to do. If you want the edge of that blanket right at the shoulders to help the natural alignment of the neck. Again, if there's next like physical challenge, don't do it. Just keep your sling in your strap. So here we go with the legs at a 90. You can even go into V poses without going all the way back. If you can, Halasana cloud pose. So if we're coming back, we're rocking side to side. Give the chin. You can hollow up the throat. Don't talk in this. Awake. My sleeping powers awake. I'm not going to be here long. I'm transitioning into half shoulder stand, supporting my low back. Some people do a tap down. So, through this, other people keep the legs extended. Either way, you're getting a reverse flow of the blood, the inversion. And just affirming that peace and calmness lie in the center of our being. Helping us return from ups and downs of life. Not staying long today. I'm just coming over. If you're joining me in Halasana, really key to slowly come out of this. Slow, you're releasing your upper mid and then your low back, not right to your low back. And perhaps you want to either the legs again. All right, and just feel that divine light is within you and all around you. So for those of you who want more of the neck release, you're welcome to use the strap around the back of the neck, like we've done in the past. I'm just doing a real quick windshield wiper twist. I'm so used to ending like that. Divine life is within me and all around me, or any way that works for you for Shavasana. So, getting comfortable. I'm going to go drink here as a transition. We know how this goes, but if anybody maybe seen this for the first time, I think most of us are familiar. The strap goes there, above, back of the ears, and then we take our, you don't want the foot on the plastic, it's not, and we're retractioning as long as you want. I'm going through this very quickly, both legs, and then switching to the other. And then one inside to side, and really get that traction. But you take your time, don't do it like I'm doing. Just showing you a quick demo as we move into Shavasana.
Deep it in, soak in. And corpse pose, letting go, letting go. And we're going to do a yoga nidra in this, and this is holding emotional opposites, because this really does another way to practice without doing postures per se, but holding the emotional energy on one side. Then it's and then it's opposites, working with duality, bringing them both together as best we can, and that effect has a neutralizing effect. But we want to really be able to hold each separately before we bring both together. So we haven't done it in a while. It's another great practice to work with the ups and downs. Okay, so getting comfortable. It's like, hear the music. Okay, depending on the position you're in, you may or may not be able to ease your head from side to side. But either way, you're going to return to the fullness of the breath, and the life force, prana, animating your form in all forms. Working with the eyes, feel the floor, the ceiling, the sidewalls of the eyes, the eyelids getting heavy, the hollows at the backs of the eyes. Feeling the cool air coming in through the nostrils. Maybe coolness at the spiritual eye. And the warm cooked air coming out of the nostrils. If you want, exaggerating a yawn, relaxing the upper and lower jaw. And feeling those shoulders ease away from the ears. And if you had a heartfelt desire or intention, you could bring that in now. Notice the quality of your breath. Let yourself deepen into the belly. Into the floor, the ceiling, the sidewalls of the chest, ventilating, allowing everything to be here. We're moving into our yoga nidra practice around emotions. Just notice what emotions are present for you. You can guide us here in the times where we feel a sense of equanimity, balance, inner strength, and relative security, stability. So notice those qualities, what happens to your body and mind, and I say those, maybe images, and maybe a felt sense of equanimity, inner strength, certain degree of security and stability. And if it's helpful, that right hand may represent that right palm. Then in the duality of life, open the left palm. Opposites may appear. The insecurity. Better stay with it, the difficulty of relationships or circumstances. The unpredictable nature of people. So if we could just stay here a little bit and breathe into that and try to allow it. Maybe a lot of resistance, it's okay, it's experience. And then we're going to bring our left hand on our belly and the right hand over our left hand. And we want the inner strength, the adaptability to bend and come back to our center, be stronger in the insecurity. So that equanimity, the ability to return, the ability to literally come back into the center of your body, full yogic breathing, belly, heart, crown. On the inhale and crown, heart, belly on the exhale. See if these opposites can meet. You may or may not, and that's okay, that's your experience. And inviting the inner strength to become stronger, to change less awareness, whatever you call that, pure awareness, witnessing awareness, an aspect of yourself that's already whole, already free, no matter what the circumstance. You allow that to be here as well. Maybe we want to tap into an inner smile at the heart, the joy kosha, a sense of well-being. Feeling the legs, the knees, the calves, ankles, soles of the feet, left and right. Spacious awareness. Space inside the body, connected to space all around you. Resting in presence, divinity, wholeness. And This is that time to sense and feel if you'd like to stay in Shavasana longer and just rest in deep peace, returning back to center, or if you're ready to transition into movement gradually and gently, perhaps wiggling the fingers and toes and resting on your side. Perhaps noticing if the affirmation works and as we gently come off the mat shortly, but as you're seated, or if you're lying down, this is where we send the Om sound to others. So when you're ready, go ahead and visualize those others. And again, that unity of community is really important. Sending prayers of care, bringing the hands perhaps together, generating heat. The ah, the o, the m sound. Inhaling. Ah. Bringing the hands in namaste, acknowledging that divine awareness within everyone and everything. That's where we are one. Namaste, bowing to the wisdom of your hearts, letting it lead the way.